Hey, good evening, champions. Diane and I are very, very sorry that we can't spend the Father's Day celebration with you guys, but I wanted to send a personal message thanking all the fathers out there to celebrate a day, to be acknowledged. Your contribution to the family, to the development of your kids is super, super important. So, Pastor asked me to kind of just send a video of what fatherhood has done, has kind of shown me, and just God, what He's done for me. So, I wanted to take a second to just kind of share what's been on my heart. I have a deep, deep ministry, or I'm sorry, I have a deep passion for the ministry of men, fatherhood. I mean, there's no instruction book. We do it, through examples, through what we've been taught. And we're just trying to figure it all out. But one of the things for me is, as I was growing up, my dad was, while he was present, he just wasn't emotionally present. He was there physically, just not emotionally, mentally. I didn't learn how to shave from my dad. There wasn't just a lot of examples that went along with that with growing up. As a matter of fact, my father and I, despite living in the same town, we rarely saw each other. We communicated very, very briefly. And so it was just very, very interesting for me. My birthday, just a quick share. My birthday in August, I actually, for the first time in over 17 plus years, I finally got a text from him on the day of my actual birthday. Years before that, I never received one, and it was very hard on me. So I don't blame him. I've kind of come to realize that it wasn't him. I think he was just following examples, and he was doing kind of what he was taught, and he was just doing the best that he could. Since then, I've actually opened up a line of communication with my dad. I try to, I make the effort to kind of reach out to him. We probably speak a little bit more now than ever before, but I want to make sure that I maintain and open up that line of communication. So it took me to go out and do that. Now, I say all that to say this is that something that I learned about fatherhood was you have to be engaged. That was one thing that I learned from my dad. One thing that I did learn from my dad is that I didn't want to set the same example for my kids. I didn't know I knew that I needed to do things differently. I needed to be there. I needed to be present with them. And it's every day. It's a challenge all in itself. Recently, within the last year, my mindset has been shifted dramatically. One of the big things that I kind of I look at is legacy. That's one of the big things that drives me each and every day, besides my family. I want to become a better man, a better husband, a better father for them. I want to lead by example. I don't want to just talk about it. So I make every effort, and every decision for the most part what's my legacy going to look like? What are the examples that I'm setting now, and what are the seeds that I'm planting so that they flourish into, something that my kids can take on that's besides money. So I'm hoping that through those actions and through those examples and the things that I hold myself accountable to, I'm making a difference, that they can see it, that not just because I'm saying that I'm doing it, but realistically going out, making a conscious effort. So it's not always easy, and it's not always pretty, but it's one of those things that keeps me focused on the decisions that I make, and definitely the way that I act and I treat others. So I just wanted again to say a happy Father's Day to all of the men, the fathers, the heads of the households, the team members that are with their wives, just going through life and making it their own, making an impact. I thank you all for your contribution to your families. I hope you guys have an incredible Father's Day. I hope you are celebrated, you are rejoiced, and then you just get a day off. So again, happy Father's Day, guys.
Very good, very good. And we'll have that up on the website and all too. So yeah, great. Oh, we're not ready for this yet. Well, that's okay. Leave it up there. Okay, Joel is going to come, and known Joel for a lot of years now. He is part of my bibliophile melange. He reads all of my books and things before they are published. And oh, okay, more juice on me, I guess. There we go. A little bit better. And so anyway, so I asked Joel to come and share a little bit too. So, Joel.
So when Dave asked me, my first thought was no. And then my second thought was, I know what I can say. So we often think, in my experience anyway, that discipleship is something where you go, hey, come on over, let's have a Bible study. And that wasn't really the model Jesus had. Jesus said, hey, come on, let's go for a walk. And they walked for about 3 years. So as father, when my son was born, I looked at it and went, my main goal is a discipler. And so however he turns out is a product of my discipleship. So that's really all I had to say.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, wonderful. Thank you, Joel. Appreciate that. I'm going to have Eric come next. And Eric's a preacher. So he said, is it okay if I take about a half hour? And I said, yeah, if the Lord leads you to, go ahead. So, anyway.
At least a half an hour. I'm just glad that I kind of look around this room and I see family. I'm going to cry. My wife always comes up here, and anytime she talks, she cries, and I don't. But when Dave asked me to do this, I thought, oh, okay, I can do it. And I'm thinking to myself, this year, this Father's Day is probably the worst emotional Father's Day I've experienced in my life. It's been such a grief. I would say most of my friends have either lost their father or they're estranged from their father. It's a common thread in men where there's a father wound, and you hear about, just like you heard Daniel talk about how they don't talk to his dad and stuff. My dad's the reason I'm a Christian. My dad was an alcoholic. He was an iron worker. As a kid growing up, he was a checked out individual. And when I was 14 years old, he accepted Jesus Christ in his life, and he changed. He was a completely different person. And of course, as a son, I followed suit, and I got to know, accepted Christ through that. And I've never looked back ever since, and my dad's never looked back ever since. And the influence of my dad, of who I am as a person, is huge. And we've done ministry together. We've done life together. I have 2 daughters, and he's seen them grow up, and just everything. We even worked together. Most of you know that my dad tore his rotator cuff throwing a cow pie at a family reunion, and couldn't work as an iron worker, so we started our business. So yes, our business started because of cow manure. And we work together. We've worked together now for 15 years, and it's just been wonderful. And he is slowly filtering out from working there anymore. About 3 years ago, my world just got turned upside down, and in many ways, and we lost my mom. And in that process, my dad was kind of like someone hit by a car, and it didn't take very long, and he got a girlfriend, and she is kind of sweeping him off to Texas at the end of this year. And our family's pretty devastated. This will be the first. I just think about it, and I really thinking, God has come to me many times in my life and said, am I enough? Am I enough of a father to you to take place? Even though my dad is still going to be alive, it's different. It's very different. He's very detached again, and it's very painful. I really feel God just reminded me of other men that don't have that relationship with their father, and just really helping people. Even my wife has a hard relationship with her father, and that story is just constant. Like, we as fathers, we fail. We fail our families. We fail our friends, everything. And I just keep turning back to God, just hearing him say, these songs about how he's a good father. He is there. And, so I don't know, this year, when I think about Father's Day, for me, it's about God. And I would just celebrate in God and who he is in my life. And, it's so important, being a father. I don't know. I just wanted to share that with you, and I just thank you. So, all right, cool.